Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 Project Phoenix, a 2022 career mode. Today we're here for episode number 6, the Austrian Grand Prix of Season 2. If you missed the previous episode loaded last week at Monaco, you're going to check that out and subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more of this series. But coming in, of course, upgrades. 9 of the 10 teams have brought upgrades. Williams, of course, have a bigger upgrade, trying to close the gap on the midfield cars. Obviously, Alpine have brought an engine upgrade as well, so you know they're trying to move forwards. Austria, of course, is a track where straight line is. One team though that hasn't brought an upgrade, Red Bull. I mean, why do they? Verstappen's dominating this season. They're leading the constructors as well. Yes, they're not happy with Perez's lackluster performances, but there you go. I mean, they're in a happy situation really, where they are. Even the AlphaTauri haven't brought that many upgrades as well, so things are looking good for Red Bull as well. Ferrari, second place in the championship as well, and second place for Leclerc in the championship as well. He's the only one that hasn't won. He hasn't won a race, but he has been able to be consistent in the Ferrari. That's the question though, whether able to take on Verstappen. Should the Ferrari look at him? I mean, initial pace looks like that they have made steps, but it's not good enough to take on the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes, and as a result of that, Max Verstappen on pole again. Lewis Hamilton is 6/1000ths of a second slower, but it starts on the soft tyre. George Russell starts third, ahead of Lando Norris, who improves to 4th place on the grid. He'll be a lot happier with that than the previous 8th place. Leclerc and Sainz, all from Ferrari third row as well. Both of them starting to choose medium tyres. Have a taste of that after starting the season with soft tyres. Perez, oh dear, he starts 7th. Ricciardo is narrowly beaten. He starts down in 8th place for McLaren. Myself, I start down in 9th place ahead of Fernando Alonso, 10th, who starts down in 10th place as well. Look at the medium tyres, we'll see how we get on that. Outside the top 10, Pierre Gasly starts 11th ahead of Sebastian Vettel, who is only down in 12th place as Aston Martin's best hope of getting points. Gio starts 13th, a slight improvement, but you know his race pace is really strong as well. He's joined by Lance Stroll, and 14th. Alex Albon made well, he starts in 15th. He didn't make it out of Q2 actually, as well, alongside Mick Schumacher. Yuki Tsunoda, oh dear, could he be replaced? We'll have to wait and see. He starts 17th. Valtteri Bottas, for the first time this season, is on the back row. That's because Oscar Piastri and Esteban Ocon occupied the last row. Now it's time for the race for today's Austrian Grand Prix. It's Austria, one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. Qualifying, of course, you know, the top 4 teams are very quick compared to everyone else. So, you know, I mean, 9th is pretty much the best we've been able to do in qualifying. And I'll definitely take that, beating out the likes of Gasly, Vettel and Alonso to the position as well. And of course, on the medium tyres, getting into Q3 as well. I think, although I find that in this series, and just in this series, qualifying on the medium tyres isn't that bad, you know. They're able to get the same pace in qualifying somehow as well. So yes, strategy wise, now I was in two minds here. I did think about doing a one stop from medium to hards, but then I thought that the hard tyre would actually not be a good race tyre. So there's not a lot in it between a one stop and a two stop. I decided to do a two stop purely because I think it would be more of a challenge trying to come through on those soft tyres and the medium tyres at the end really. So we'll see what we can do. 5 red lights in for the Austrian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's a good start, a lot better than Ricciardo. It's a shocking start for the Australian McLaren. Around the outside then we'll go with Carlos Sainz in the thing. Oh, we've got to take avoiding action. There's a Mercedes who's been capitulated. Virtual safety cars being deployed. That's such a shame. We had such a good start as well, and it was, I think, was it Mercedes Civil War as well? We'll get a replay on board with Leclerc. No, it was Norris tapped Hamilton round, and that's Hamilton out of the race for the 4th time in 6 races. Horrible luck the British man is having in the Mercedes car. As we get back underway then, virtual safety car was only deployed on lap number 1. Having a look at at Vettel, unable to get past him, but we'll be able to use the thing. Checking the vehicle conditions okay, they haven't got any floor damage while we're going right. Norris is in after punting Hamilton off, and we're down inside Vettel up to P8 now. As well, we've lost out to Alonso. Hamilton's crash, taken avoiding action, cost us a position. Jumping to lap 3 now, with the aid of DRS, we're now past Alonso. We're going to even cut back to the racing line as well, and take P7 away from Alonso. We're up to P7. We're going to start to make a little bit of good progress. Unfortunately, you know how Austria is. You know, I think I asked the team, but somehow we've managed to incur a bit of floor damage, or a bit of side pod damage. So, not running at optimum speed, and well, at least it could be worse though, because there's contact with Ricciardo for Perez, and Perez has retired with a failure. So, we jumped to lap 13. You know, going a little bit longer. On the medium tyres. I was at this point thinking, no, we'll go a bit longer, and we'll go longer on the soft tyres, and we have a little bit of an incident there as well. Max Verstappen says a lap, new faster lap. There is Charles Leclerc. We do let Russell pass, but then the problem is he has such a poor exit. We're coming at the end of this lap anyway, so we don't really need to go past, but he's going to go defensive, so we might as well just take the racing line and go past him, you know, get DRS again and breeze past into the lead. Lap 14 as well, so we're not coming in that lap, we're coming in lap 14, 2 laps later than Grigiti. Russell tries to go down the inside of that corner. Obviously he has been, this contact with Russell. What on earth has happened here? This is the new patch, by the way. This was recorded, I should point out. So they have fixed this corner, but Russell just drives into the back of my rear tyre. And, well, both Mercedes out there. Toto Wolff is having an absolute paddy. So we come into the pits then. Russell is out, Hamilton's out, Mercedes have got no cars left. As well, so their poor luck continues. Norris is going to be an issue, and at this point I was thinking, I'm instantly regretting making a 2-stop, because Norris is effectively, after his front wing change, he's effectively done a 1-stop as well, and we can't even do 2 sets of softs. We haven't got enough softs, and Norris is absolutely flying in his hard tyres as well. And it gets a little bit worse as well, because we've got Giovinazzi, although he's being held up by Albon there, who has to make another stop. Giovinazzi's also going to the end. He's doing a 1-stop on his hards. But we jumped to lap 22. Not a lot happening here. I've decided to come in earlier on time, as opposed to trying to extend this stint, purely because I want to get the most out of the mediums as well. And also 35% tyre wear, the softs were really going off as well. It's such a shame not able to make a strategy like that work, but there we go. So yes, going to the end of the Grand Prix on these medium tyres, as there is Alonso coming out ahead of Gasly up to P12. Down to P12 I should say. So Verstappen still leads. Once again, the up to second place is Charles Leclerc as well. Ricciardo is third ahead of Sainz, who's fourth, and Norris is up to 5th place. So we jumped to back lap to lap 29. We're lapping Bottas for the 58th time this season. I'm pretty sure he'll be looking for an exit there, because he's not having a great time of it. We now jump back to RPV, lap number 33. We've caught up to Giovinazzi, Alfa Romeo Civil War. We haven't, this is a battle to the end. We're not going to catch Norris in front, so in hindsight the one stop might have been better, but we go down on the inside. Giovinazzi not choosing to give us much room, but we're up to P6 as well, which is about to become P5 because Carlos Sainz, the Ferrari, has decided to blow up in the back of his car, and Sainz unfortunately hasn't been able to have a good season. He's out the race as well, but Giovinazzi isn't going to stick there. At this point his cars are probably doing better than my mediums at one point. 45% you can see on those medium tyres, not a great tyre to be honest, as well. Max Verstappen has won the Grand Prix, and we're going to come through the final corners now then, track extending like there's no tomorrow, and up to the line for P5, which, it's more points on the board, but, considering the fact that where we were ahead of Norris, could have been P4. The pace wasn't that bad. It's just the Alfa Romeo is a lot slower than the top 4 teams in this career mode. It's a double point score for ourselves, Alfa Romeo, so that's at least something as well to think about. Vettel gets more points for Aston Martin in their crucial fight to try and join Alfa Romeo, so AlphaTauri and Alpine as well, though Alonso does score there as well. Piastri and Schumacher finished ahead of Tsunoda. Ocon not able to recover from P20, only finished ahead of Bottas, who suffered as well. Both Mercedes, Sainz and Perez, 4 big names who are expected to score points, all out of the running as well, all having either engine issues or crashing. Basically, I think that Russell's crash was his fault. He ran into the back of me, too impatient there. Should be fixed though in the new patch. That thing. And in terms of the Drivers' Championship, well, Max Verstappen has pretty much won it basically. 61 points. Charles Leclerc, 36, who's running away in second place from the rest of the field. I move up a position thanks to Perez's DNF. Norris also moves up a position. Ricciardo is a big gainer though. He's now up to P4 as well. In terms of the constructors, a little bit of leeway now for Ferrari, not as much as they'd like though, because they would have got more points as Sainz has finished in the points as well. Mercedes double DNFs leaves them now right behind. McLaren are close right behind them now as well. We've saw in no man's land in 5th place, because we're not fighting the teams behind us, Alpine, but we're not able to catch the teams ahead of us. So for the time being, we've both been consistent. Giovinazzi's been the most consistent teammate that I've actually had in a while as well, apart from Lando Norris and my team really. So yes. But there we go. If you haven't enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 Project Phoenix videos as and when they come out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.